Swamp Rat here. I know I got the beard shaved, looking a little bit different today. I am in Narcoossee, Florida. This is my hometown where I live. There's Sherry and the dude walking by. They're looking at some stuff. But this building behind me is an 1800s schoolhouse that is being restored here in Narcoossee. This was a one-room schoolhouse. The schoolhouse.
Hi, my name's Lisa. I'm with the Osceola History, the Narcoossee chapter. This is our original 1886 schoolhouse. It's been here since 1886. It was moved once, about 6 feet, because they widened Narcoossee Road. But it's on its original footprint, other than the 6 feet shift this way. For many years, it was a volunteer fire station. It had linoleum floor, drop ceiling, fluorescent lights. All of the original wood we pulled out from underneath it. We pulled off all that junk, all that modernization, and found all the original wood and restored it back to the way it was.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful hard Florida pine. Thank you for coming.
Floors. Look at that piano back there.
The piano's from 1850. It's a donation, and then we have everything you see around here is from the period, like who the governor of Florida was. Edmund Perry in 1886. Grover Cleveland was president in 1886.
So there's Edward Perry, our governor at the time, and there's Grover Cleveland. Oh, look at this. This is when the Statue of Liberty was dedicated at the same time, 1886. Cool Victorian calendar.
And the founders of Narcoossee were British, so everything was very Victorian. They were upper class, and so they came over here in their fancy outfits, and they had teas by the lake, and they were pretty affluent compared to other Narcoossee, Florida cracker type residents. These were very affluent people that founded the area and the town.
And for those of you that are wondering, when we say cracker in Florida, we mean cowboys. That's our local. That's our local term.
It's not a negative term. It's
Nope.
a good term. It's cool to be a cowboy. But it had a stove. We believe they would have used coal over wood just because they were British and they were familiar with coal. But the original stovepipe tells us that they had it here. So we haven't replaced the stovepipe yet, but we put in a stove.
Hey guys, I want to show you something on this stove. Look at these. These are the same size and dimension, the same setup as the stove that we're finding parts to out in Split Oak. So that is definitely interesting. That kind of shows the period that we're finding things even out in the Split Oak area where we're metal detecting.
One thing cool about the flag of Florida in 1886, it did not have its red X yet. So the flag was just the center seal, and it did not have the red X. So that's pretty interesting when we learned when we were researching flags. And this is a replica flag. We had it. There's a company that makes them for museum type pieces. This states, I think there were only 36. I might be wrong if you count them, but there were only 36 stars because only 36 states in 1886.
That would be accurate.
So that it has a limited number of stars.
Look at the teacher's desk.
She would have had her bell to call everybody to order. We also had the big bell on top to let them know. They would have used the building for other events. They might have had a social here, church here, but it was built as a schoolhouse for all ages. She could have had students that were in kindergarten and students that were 18 years old, all in the same room. Hence the different size desk, different lessons for each.
Is that the desk for the bad kid?
Yeah, we call it the dunce seat, and just because they joke about everybody having one. So. And they would have written, not on paper in most cases, they would have written on these little chalkboards. They would have each had one. Then later they would have switched to the ink and the ink wells. The teacher had an ink well, the desk had ink wells where they would have ink. And they would have started class with a little, back then, they had
Bible
prayer,
verse.
they had Pledge of Allegiance, they had patriotic songs. The teacher would have been able to play piano and be a teacher.
Well, she had to have multiple talents to deal with that many kids. Look at these wonderful little desks.
They would have gone to the bathroom out in outhouses. We have a record that says there were 2 outhouses, one for boys, one for girls. Same thing for the doors. I guess for discipline, they had the boys in on one side, the girls in on another side. Maybe it just made them behave better. I'm not quite sure. But it also helped with the cross freeze and the ventilation because there was no air conditioning, no plumbing.
There's dude looking at us. That's my service dog.
He's cool.
There used to be a museum in here?
No. This used to be a volunteer fire station.
Oh, this is
This is our plan. I'm so sorry.
So this is going to be this is the fire station.
Right.
Dude, sit.
What we're trying to negotiate with the county is that we can take this building over because they're going to build a new fire station. They've outgrown that one. We don't know if it'll be 2 years or 10 years, but we had an architect, draw up the drawings of what we would do. We would make that a museum because we have so many cool artifacts in Narcoossee to share.
So cool.
And we want to have a place where people can come and learn the history and have a restroom, which we don't have in the old schoolhouse, and have air conditioning if they need it. And then we'll have special events like you can have a wedding here, different things you can do on the property. So
this is so cool. So this is Florida at the time. This is the county where we're at. This says Orange, but it's now, wait a minute, there's Lake Toho, there's East Lake Toho, it says Osceola. This would have actually not been a county yet. We wouldn't have had Osceola County yet. Wow, look at the United States in 1886.
There's initials up there. There's some people here in the 1940s that actually remember having this schoolhouse, and some of their initials are part of the attic. We have pictures of them.
This is really cool.
They stopped using it as
They got a Florida Preservation Award in 2018.
because they built schools, like more modern schools. So then it's that vacated for a while, and then it became college.
Very cool. Well, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this. This is kind of a different kind of adventure for me. We just came down to see everything, but I'll take some more shots. All right, we are at the schoolhouse on Swamp Thing. It's a little bit about the colony here of Narcoossee. In the early 1800s, a man named Nelson Fell, namesake of Fells Cove, purchased a large tract of land on East Lake Tohopekalaga. He developed the land for housing and advertised heavily in England. In 1883, English settlers began to arrive. In 1888, the Sugarboat Railway was built and Narcoossee was on the north terminus. The English planted many acres of groves and shipped the oranges on the railway. The devastating freeze of the late 1890s caused many to abandon their homes. In 1910, Fells moved to Indian County and created Fellsmore and took many of the remaining settlers with him. So the town kind of got abandoned here. This is them hauling fertilizer, which is one of the big industries out in Split Oak Forest. And this was the train terminal here in Narcoossee at the time in 1902. Now this train terminal is right there. I'm not sure we can get a good view of it, but this is the Narcoossee Hardware and Feed across Narcoossee Road. This is now a 4-lane road. Originally it was in the 80s it was a 2-lane dirt road. So lots of development. But you can see the feed store used to be where the depot was. The turnstile was right behind it. Hopefully we'll be able to get in there and do some searching in there, but it's not a high priority for me. I know it's been searched pretty extensive. Alright, so schoolhouse, we got a little pavilion, there's an old school fire truck right there. And we got the fire station up here. This is the fire station that's going to be rebuilt, and they're going to try to turn the fire station into the museum for the schoolhouse. So that'll be kind of nice. Good thing to see. Beautiful grounds out here though.